Hi, my name is Alex. I am used to being politically involved, but I haven't been for the last few years, and now it's time to jump back into things. And I thought, hey, no better than the internet. This is the beginning of a new political series that we're going to be calling Politics of Tomorrow. Because this year is the most important election year we have probably faced in our lifetimes. And we are just beginning the main rush of where we're going to see nonstop political ads, nonstop hearing about candidates, and of course, that fun conversation we all love is leading up to Election Day. Now, we have two very unique candidates this year. We have Joe Biden, which, in my opinion, is more of a liberal moderate. He tends to speak kind of like that crazy grandpa where you hear him say, and you have to question, like, what? What did you just say? And you have to make sense of whatever gibberish came out of his mouth.
They don't call Super Tuesday for nothing. By the way, this is my little sister, Valerie, and I'm Jill's husband. Oh, no, this is not. Oh, you switched on me. This is my wife. This is my sister. They switched on me.
And he's honestly not the ideal candidate of the Democratic Party moving forward. But on the other hand, you have Trump, who has obviously shown what he is. He's racist. He's bringing out people who are insane, who are being unethical to other people, who are gun-loving individuals going onto the lawn and pointing them at peaceful protesters going down their streets. The ethics behind of what he does is questionable, not just as a society or as a Democrat, but even the government and people in the military saying, what in the world is this guy doing? And of course, as we know, he loves Twitter. He reminds me of like the 12-year-old girl in middle school that would complain about whatever was in front of them and making up the shenanigans that we're going to see. It's very immature, and honestly, during a time of COVID and a major health crisis in our country and in this world, we need a leader. And I don't think either of these candidates are ideal. But I also think that 4 more years of Trump, there's so many things that can't stand it. To start, our society, our economy, the environment, all things that we just cannot take 4 more years of. It's going to cause so much more damage than we can. The amount of debt that we're going into as a country, yes, I get it. Some of it's from COVID. I get it. Some of it's out of his control, but a lot of it is. I mean, he's almost, put on $10 trillion of debt that we in our society, in our generation, we're going to have to solve. The environment, let alone, is such on a bricks of collapse that we need to act. We need to create a new future. The way that everything is being handled, my goodness, I find myself not being able to support Trump, obviously, but I'm having a hard time supporting Biden. But that's not this election year. This year, I think we can set up what could be for the future. What I honestly wish is Biden pledging to a 4-year run or having just a 1-term presidency, so that way we can spend the next 4 years finding the right leaders, because we need true leadership in our country. In fact, I'm hoping that we can create a third party. And I don't think it should come from the Democrats, because the Democrats need to all come in and vote for Biden. That's the only way that they're going to be able to take the presidency, because the Trump support, as we see, is, well, strong. They show up. He somehow won the election. There are a lot of Republicans that are disappointed and frustrated with having Trump as their nominee. And if enough Republicans diverted away from voting against Trump and maybe not even voting for Biden, having a third party, being able to put in a write-in and be able to have 4 years from now a Democrat, a Republican, and then a third party where we can truly create a conversation, that's going to be the most ideal thing. But this year, it's not just about voting for Joe Biden, whoever the vice president will be. It's about having the entire ballot be blue. There's really only one way of making this happen. And part of it is having our voices heard, whether if it's through vlogs, through blog, written blogs, Facebook, whatever. We need to get out and vote. And in particular, the youth need to get out and vote. Ages 18 to 30 makes up 1/3 of the demographic of eligible voters this year. But less than 20% show up. If even 50% of the youth showed up, you're talking about a massive wave of change inside of our country. Change is yet to come. We, the youth, have that power. We must show up to vote. And so with Politics of Tomorrow, we're going to be highlighting a lot of candidates. We're going to be highlighting a lot of issues. Make sure to hit like, subscribe down below. But it's time to make a change, and it's time for our voices to be heard.